Hi, I'm Christine McKay with Northridge Publishing, and we are excited to have Tasha Meyer back with us today. Tasha is the editor of our Bead Trends magazine, and we always talk about this every month. It's so fun to take a look at some of your favorites from the magazine. But this time, I asked you to come up with a sampling of different jewelry that represents different kinds of bead making. Because one of the things I love so much about our magazine is that we really represent a lot of different styles.
That's what I love about Bead Trends, is we really try to get variety in the magazine and get information for all sorts of different kind of jewelry designing, not just beading, but actually creating different works of art with the jewelry that you want to wear.
Let's kind of go through and talk a little bit about each one of these pieces. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful to start off with, but tell me like what kind of beading that it represents.
Okay, well, the first design that we have right here, right in front of me, is a relatively simple seed beading design. And seed beading is becoming so much bigger in the industry, and we want to do a little bit more of promoting seed beading in Bead Trends. And this was something that I thought that readers could look at and actually be able to read the instructions, be able to come up with something on their own. And I loved these beautiful lampwork beads that she's added this design. So it was such a great project and put together beautifully.
And when you say seed beads, is that what these are? Just those little tiny beads?
That's these little teeny tiny beads. And there's so many ways that you can design with those little teeny tiny seed beads. You can weave them, you can do different sort of stitches and create designs or patterns, and it's a lot of fun.
That's really cool, actually. I like that, and I like how that they've been able to take the different strands and to form kind of a different chained look as well.
Yeah, they separate them and then they bring them together with the lampwork bead and then separate them. So.
Okay, so let's take a look at this one right here. Is this, because this one, I always love that you try to bring a project that's fairly simple and quick to do. Would that be representative of that?
This project is great because it could be really simple and quick to do, or you could make it a little bit more complex depending on how you want to. You can actually buy metal blanks and you can texturize them and hammer them like they have here, and that's just a simple head pin with beads on it, and that's a really simple design. You can also actually purchase the raw brass and cut out your shapes that you want and dap them, which means actually form the shape in the metal and create whatever shape and style that you want. And so this was a fun pair of earrings that could be made simply if you pre-purchase that metal or if you try and do it on your own. And I think the designer called those Snickers. She said she had a Snickers bar next to her while she was creating them, and so that's what it reminded her of.
I always love the names of these. They make me giggle. Okay, let's move on to this one in the front right here.
Okay, this design is by our designer Highlight, and I always just like to bring something from our designer Highlight because they have a whole like 10 or 11 page spread of some of their favorite pieces or pieces that mean something to them. And I love this because it's kind of the end of the summer and fall is here, and so this was kind of the end of your summer fun bracelet, and I just really loved it. I love the there's a handmade lampwork seashell bead there.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and I always love when you mix a little bit of texture with fabric and metals.
And is that sari silk?
Yes.
Because it seems like that whenever there's any type of cloth with the pieces that you bring, it's usually that.
You can get recycled sari silk or just regular silk ribbon, or there's so many different fabrics that you can use. It's so fun. You can go into your scrap closet and find things and tear them up and work them, age them and distress them, and
I think that's so fun. Okay, so these right here really caught my eye because they look like that they'd be fairly simple, but I just love all the little stones on it that just catch the light just right, and it just kind of makes like a little elegant pop of color.
It's beautiful, and the fun thing about those is it's just a very basic sterling silver bangle where she's taken wire and wrapped the wire around and connected all these gorgeous gemstones, and you could do that with any number of colors and create them.
Well, I was going to say, you could really just customize them for your wardrobe. I mean, blue and green and purple, and they would just go with, you could customize them to go with anything in your closet.
Well, and my favorite thing is to stack them and wear them all at once. So wear a bunch of them together.
That's really pretty.
Make a real statement.
All right, do we get to talk about my favorite one now?
We were talking about this earlier. This is both of our favorites. Every issue, I always have a design that speaks to me, and it's something that I would just want to take home, you know. And that's what this one was. I just love this.
I don't know if you're going to leave the studio with that. I am so in love with that piece. And you were talking about how this kind of represents kind of a mixed media section that we want to start promoting a little more in our magazine.
Mixed media designs are so much fun because you can look for found objects, recycled objects, upcycle things. People find things in their garages, or, you know, we've talked before about in their grandmother's closet, things that you may not expect to make jewelry out of. And I just love this. It was so fun. It was created with these vintage typewriter keys.
Which I just adore that.
And she set them in these beautiful little bezels, and then she's got this old watch part in the bottom that is I think it's the Eiffel Tower in there.
I think that it just tells such a story. And do you know do you remember what the title is on that one?
I think it's We Always Have Paris, and it's by Judith Glend.
I love that. Tasha, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing with us. We would love to see your submissions, whether you bead with seed beads or whether you do welding. Is that what you call the metal?
Like metal smithing or metal
smithing, wire wrapping, whether you have more of an eclectic taste or passion. We want to see them. So go ahead and go to northridgepublishing.com. You can check out our blog. You can see what types of jewelry we're accepting right now for publications that we're working on. But we'd really love to showcase your work. If you haven't already checked out the November issue of Beads Trends magazine, go ahead and you can pick one up at your craft store newsstand, or better yet, you can get a subscription for it at northridgepublishing.com.